Okay, let's do this. Hello to the people in chat. Exciting stuff going on today. So, I am going to be reviewing, I hope, all of these 6 games. Hi, Lyral. How's it going? So, yeah. Oh, you're watching Between Pugs? Okay. So I am starting to trial for the head coach position for Team Sakura, specifically with their Icelandic team. The and I mess this pronunciation up every time. It's Útlagar, Skagafjarðar. Wait, Skagafjarðar, right? It's along those lines. The it's the Icelandic team with Team Sakura. Is the NA pronunciation of that. So I am going to review their games from their match in the Icelandic tourney, which they had yesterday. I don't know when the replays are going to expire, so that's why I'm doing this on my own and not with them. So it went to 6. It was a 1-3 series. So this one definitely went the distance. We're gonna jump right into it. So I know they had some strategies that they wanted to try on Busan, specifically downtown, that they never got to do, particularly with regards to Bastion, but there's no real reason to review that because they never got to do that. So unfortunate. All right. Preparing to attack. So looking at the team right now, it's a weird composition already. Right. I'm not too familiar with like what it is that they're trying to run because I've only been working with them for a couple of days. So at a first glance, this is looking to me like it's very comfort hero.
Round
based.
1.
With the on a Mercy Hanzo McCree. So it's like a pokier style of DPS and much more ranged. A lot of ranged damage, even with brawl tanks. Whereas it looks like I'm presuming that yeah, they're gonna switch to Tracer. So team 1 here, right, is the arch rivals, as it were, of these guys. So right now I can already tell like blue here has a much more sensible comp, at least from what I can see, in that they're running a fairly workable dive, right? They've got the Balls Zarya, Tracer with Zenta support, and then Mercy's going to help out whoever as the main heals, but also probably pocket the McCree from time to time, right? So this is a very divey composition. As soon as we see this, what I want to be seeing out of the Outlaws, right? Outlaws being the English translation of Team Sakura, or Team Sakura's Icelandic team. I'll just refer to them as Team Sakura, right? So what I want to see out of Sakura is a more condensed style of play, right? They're gonna have Tracer going for the backline flanks, and you need to be aware of that. That's gonna be Shark's #1 priority is the flank control. So I need to see Shark holding these angles and try and have control, because not only are they gonna be dueling the McCree, they're gonna have to worry about the Tracer as well. And actually, for that reason, I almost kind of want the Ana to play with Shark as well. So okay, so first fight, we're taking drums, taking the angle. This is gonna be really confusing with the double blues. So let's see here. All right, lucky headshot to open up the fight. You love to see it. That should get rezzed ideally. So right now, all 6 of them. I hate the double blues. I don't know why it does this. Right, so all 6 of them are running for the same side. You know, brawl condensed comp makes sense. I wouldn't mind if McCree was playing somewhere like these stairs, or around here, if only to get an extra angle. But what we're doing right now is fine. Actually, I think it might be easiest for me to do this in third person, just because of how the colors mess up. Okay, so ball's in the back line, right?
The objective is
Alright,
now.
tanks are going pretty far in. There's a moment where like the Ana isn't quite able to see them. Around here, so I want to look at this.
You're covered.
Alright, so support helping support. Good push.
I'm
Sure, Ana can
securing
see
the
you.
objective. Anyone
That ball
want
should
to
be
join
going for
me?
Ana. Okay, precision. Okay, nade falls short.
I've seen worse. You're
Focusing on
going
the
to live.
Rhine. Yeah, Rhine's gonna take a lot of the fire here. So right now, we have point control. Everybody's really hurting right now. Mercy is pocketing the Rhine right now, which like it makes sense for Mercy to be pocketing the person doing things, right? However, I think Rhine at this moment is in a position where the Mercy isn't necessary because he's not taking enough pressure to warrant the heals, right? So he's discorded. So Ryan needs to like fall back because the point is controlled and they're going to start pushing right here, right? So this is not a sustainable place to hold with this McCree on the left, because if he starts going wide and swinging wide, he's going to be able to pepper you in the back and you won't be able to do much, especially when the Zarya runs you over, right? So Ryan needs to be on the defensive here, just at half HP. Realistically, with the shield up, the Ana should be able to help you here, right? Okay, well your shield's kind of low, so Mercy pocketing is fine, but understand here that Ryan is demanding a lot of resources that the rest of the team needs, right? Zarya needs help. This McCree needs help, right? This Hanzo needs help. So even though we have the point, right, we are not looking the most sustainable right now, just by nature of what our HP looks like. So be mindful that, you know, when you go aggressive like that and we do that kind of bum rush style against a composition that's meant to focus down a single target and use things like Discord, there's a non-zero chance that you are going to overwork your team, right? So, right, Ryan will survive by playing aggressive and having the support, but I want to watch what happens to DPS, right? Shark here, I know Shark was talking to me about this earlier. Shark is not in a good position right now and cannot be taking presence. Light roll, thanks for the follow. Shark needs to be watching this Tracer, not the Hanzo, right? I don't think Hanzo is the play here against this composition. I definitely don't think it's the person who should be watching for this Tracer. So McCree needs to be doing that, but also McCree needs help, right? Again, McCree's job here in this composition against a dive is going to be the angle control and watching the flank, either dueling the McCree or handling this Tracer. But you're only going to be able to do one, right? And arguably the Tracer is the scarier target because of how, you know, you don't have mobile, you don't have a mobile flex support, right? Your Ana is going to get jumped more often by the Tracer and the ball than by the McCree. So Hanzo can challenge McCree decently well, but I think McCree needs to be matching up for the Tracer, right? Just by how the picks work, right? So okay, so the healing wasn't there for the McCree because Ryan was demanding resources, right? Like Ryan's trying to go in and the rest of the team's trying to play defensive here. McCree dies, so you go for a res. Res is like the obvious thing you want to do, but probably not something you can get away with. Yeah, and then Ana gets killed. Why? Why does Ana die here? Yeah, so Ana gets killed by the McCree, right? Because McCree's in too low of a position to challenge Tracer. Hans is challenging Tracer. The McCree over there, and I'll go back to watch them, right? McCree's over here, and they're gonna be uncontested, right? Because once our McCree in Shark goes down to 3 HP, they're free to just keep pushing. And look at this. There's no pressure on this McCree to do anything, right? Because the shield tank's playing here, right? We have Ryan over here playing this angle, and really just taking damage and blasting down shield, right? Ryan isn't doing anything here. Ryan could be challenging this angle, because this kind of arc around here, it is more of the main fight, right? Just given the circumstance. But really, you got to be matching their tanks too. So realistically, Brian should have been holding point from the get-go after it got capped. So now McCree's free to do whatever they want, right? And look how little pressure there is in this guy. Right? He gets hit by a fire strike, and he just keeps staying on the angle with the Mercy on him. And he's already got high noon. He's already got high noon, and he's taken 100 damage in the span of the fight. Like, that's not good, right? So this McCree just has much superior angle control. And his team is a little bit more tailored for him to be playing this way. Right. So now it's a stall, right? We have to use Valkyrie to stall. We're trying to buy time, and that's not bad. Flash blasted. Finally, this guy gets taken down. I want to watch Spy Rune here. I want to watch. Spy Rune's getting hard pocketed, which I think is probably the move when you only have 2 targets to focus on. May as well, kill the person who's doing things, right? So the focus is a little difficult, right? Because there's so many things to look at. But look at that, right? Zarya is now holding angle control, right? Because Zarya can do that as well. Zarya is good at holding the off angle. So she's able to get into a position that she wants to be in, challenges the McCree, right? Now it's just a matter of stalling, so maybe trying to recontest. So what I want to note here, right, is look at the difference between Spy Rune and Word in It, right? Let's go back. Look at the difference between their positioning and how they play, right? I think I'm a little too far actually. Okay. So here in this first fight, right, or when the points being contested, they're both going forward, right? They're pushing as a team, they're pushing as a unit. McCree's pushing with them, right? Which McCree pushing with them is allowing, you get stunned, you get flashbang, you're able to do some stuff here, but the flank is a little bit contested, right? So at least Hanzo's there. That's good. And I want to watch the tanks again. Right? As soon as the point opens and we realize that this is a capable situation, Word loses their shield, right? That shield has broken, and Spy Rune has already retreated back to point, right? Because they've set up the position that they want, and we're not really in a healthy enough stable position to be pushing into that, right? So Spy, I think, recognizes this, but the Rhine is still in deep, and this Rhine is going to demand all the resources here in a moment. And then we'll watch further, right? So Zarya starts trying to help the Rhine, who's in deep, again, committing more resources like Bubble here. But the Trace is in the back, so now Zarya is here trying to protect her backline. So then, looking here, right, Zarya is in a position where she can step on the point if necessary and can contest the sides that the flankers are going to come from, right? But Rhine's still here just taking pressure. Rhine's impact is not high right now. And I think if Zarya had that bubble ready to go for Ana, that would have been more valuable than for Rhine, right? Because Rhine's mispositioned, Ana's just trying to survive. You get the ball.
Helden sterben nicht.
Okay. Damage. I don't know if that bubble actually gets charge out of it.
Your best shot. Not good. Barriers on you.
So that bubble's a little awkward, right? Not the one that you use here. Alright, so Tracer gets shot and puncher. Good. But look at the charge, right? So the bubble gets thrown onto Hanzo.
Barriers on you. Go.
And Hanzo has taken no damage, right? Because that number isn't going up. But Mercy's trying to go for a res, and you should know that Mercy's trying to go for a res because Mercy should be calling that. Bubble would be much better here on Wifey to tank damage, to tank the flashbang. This bubble that you put on Hanzo does nothing. But right here, your bubble would have prevented you using bubble a little bit later would have actually brought your main tank back. Does that make sense? Also, hello. right?
Helden
Watch.
sterben nicht.
And then we'll move on with the fight. Right? Right here. The Mercy's going for res. And again, the McCree is so uncontested that you get to just throw that out. Right? Now, he dies for it, which is significant. But the fact of the matter is you've lost your Mercy because she got stunned and killed. And you've lost your Rhine because you weren't able to protect that res. Right? So the bubble management needed to be a little bit smarter there. And that's on comms as a group. But we're still stalling the point, which is good. Tracer in the back line. All right, and look at Ryan. Like Ryan can't even shield here. Ryan can't even, or not shield. Ryan can only shield here. Ryan can't even swing. Right. Look at the ult charge on the enemy team. Every single person on the enemy team has just been farming their ults off of us because we're in a position where we keep getting blasted down. Ryan just keeps going in and taking damage, and this is not necessarily a feed because it is stalling the point, but there's so little that Ryan's able to do here because they've set up so much angled control, right? Ball coming from one side, McCree coming from one side, Zarya coming from one side. It's very, very difficult to make that work for us. And so they're going to get their ults, right? They're going to win this point, and they're going to have enough ults that the next fight should probably be impossible for us. Right? Okay. So they're setting up to jump someone, and we've made no adjustments. The McCree's still a good pick. The Hanzo, I still don't necessarily agree with. But you have ult, so I think we should just be ready to not. I think if there's an ult that we use, it's probably dragons here. I know that grab dragon is a good combo, but I think we need to probably swap it. Right.
Right beside you.
Okay, so right here, let me go back. Right here, while we're pushing, right. There's damage coming in, and this Ryan needs to at least try to protect some of that, right? I think we should be aware that spam damage is coming in. This would be a good time to have just, a little bit of shield flashing. Right, it would just be easy to take a few shots. Right? Because there's no reason to shield this. It's just a tracer out here. This is where the fight is going to be, is in this drum. That's why we're pushing here, and that's why they're holding here. That's where the fight's going to be. I don't think Ryan should be the one to deal with ball. I would have liked McCree to deal with ball, but McCree's dead, right? And so Ryan needs to be holding front line.
Огонь по готовности.
Right. Okay, so they've already used grab. They're using pulse. Good stick, or good catch of the stick. All right, good detonate. Yeah, like this is decent. This is a decent play. Shielding that. So now they've used two ults. They've gotten no value out of it, even though we're down one. So not committing anything here is good. Just farm it back. Good fire strike, actually. All right. Play this a little slower.
Are you ready? Hammer down!
Good shatter. And the team's following through with you. Actually, let me go back.
Give me the time out.
Okay. So we're waiting on Shark to come back, so.
وريهم قوتك.
Are you ready? Hammer down!
So we're engaging, right? And as we're engaging, this traces on our backline, and I think Shark is able to see that, right? All right, good kill, right? So in this position, right, even though it's kind of accidental, we actually go at a time where McCree is able to watch our off angle because Shark is just now coming back, right? Shark is coming back and holding the lane that Trace is trying to jump into. So this works out because the flanker is engaging at the same time as the core of the team, right? Which is currently this Nano Ryan. But if we had gone earlier on this, I think it would have been dangerous. So just be aware of why that worked. Okay, kills. Yeah. So we win that off of Nano Shatter. And they've used Grav Bomb. They still have a lot to work with here. I'm worried about Grav Dragon. We should probably know that they have Transcendence. So I would... if we do Grav Dragon, we have to be ready to use Anti-Nade with it. Because Transcendence is going to out-heal it.
Watch your back.
Alright, so holding very far forward. Right. This is sleep. Right here.
Heroes never die.
Get back in the fight.
Okay, right here. Your Ana gets dove and she survives.
I have your back.
Alright, so Hanzo gets out-sniped. Sleep fails. And both of them are jumping on you. The purple and the Mercy Puck is the only thing keeping you alive right now, I think. But I don't like that Ana's in a position where she has no protection, right? There's no ability to peel for her. So she's kind of on her own, right? And it forces Valkyrie out. Okay, so the Zen's in no position to help, and that Grav Dragon kills one, right? So I know Grav Dragon is a good combo, but like, this is something that's winnable off of just sorry.
Get that gravity kills. You're covered. Don't go back.
So not the greatest combo. We could have held one. Mercy dies. And okay, now they're really split, right? So Zarya is trying to finish this kill on the Zen, but she's also getting damage from this Zarya. Meanwhile, everybody's over here dealing with the dive, right? So look at this split, right? They're split, but we are too. So it is a little scary. And the Ana now has to heal the tanks, right? Because otherwise we're gonna get run over.
It's hand.
Okay. Stun kill. Yeah. So they got very split up off of that. I'm gonna look back over actually. I'll see where the split happens. So the split happens here because they're kind of running. What are they even doing? They're trying to put Zarya on this off angle here, and they've got dive going here. They've got Kree here, and they're trying to set a bunch of angles, and they're just not. Zarya's not really in a position to help with the main fight, right? And McCree's getting blasted down, or McCree gets killed actually by this grab, so that grab gets some value out of it. But yeah, Zarya's not really able to do much to the main fight here. Zen's in a weird position too because he can only really focus on Ryan. So this is just, I think, not a coordinated attempt from them. Right. Then we kind of recenter ourselves. Ball's looking for help. Tracer's trying to get out. We kill the Mercy. And Tracer's now in the back line going without her team. Right. She doesn't have anyone to support her. She gets forced out. Right. And we're able to push on this. So this fight just takes a very long time and they don't reestablish themselves. But they were looking for that Ana there. So we have to be aware of like what they're gonna go for with this kind of composition.
It's high noon.
Okay.
Ready for battle.
Okay. A little bit more of a standard brawl with the Mei. Soldier's good for angles and damage.
Round 2.
Hey, Anthony.
Capture the objective.
Okay, let's turn on spectate. Okay, I don't know why they're running dive here. This is kind of not easy to run dive on. I think brawl is the superior composition here, or at least it's the standard. And so with Shark on Mei, we're gonna have two things that we have to look for, right? We're gonna try to wall off whatever target we can. Typically, Ball and Tracer are not going to be wallable targets just because of their mobility. So someone like McCree, someone like Zarya would be good. But we're not running a Lucio where we can speed on top of that. Right. So typically in a Mei Brawl composition, you want Lucio so that Ryan can speed on top of whoever's been walled off. Venusite, that's Victor, right? I think it's Victor. I'm not sure. I'm still learning the people on the team. Yes, sir. Hello, Victor. Nice to see you. I know it's late for you guys in Iceland, so yeah. So with this composition, right, it's a little difficult to get on top of targets, mostly because the targets that we're gonna see the most often are the ones that are harder to jump on top of. So we have to focus our wall on the groups like these and have our Rhine ready to push on top of that. So wall is gonna be really important, but Mei also has the responsibility of being able to slow down Ball when Ball tries to jump onto the Ana. So I kind of want to see, again, a more clustered positioning where Mei is able to help out the Ana from preventing Ball dive, but also can communicate walls and isolate targets effectively, or at least split the fight, right? Splitting the fight would be good. Okay, so we take high ground here. Again, flank contest is good. We're gonna get flanked a lot. I would prefer McCree, but that's fine. Okay, so Ball jumps onto the soldier, right? Ball Tracer jumps onto the soldier, so that does a lot of damage. And this fight's going on. So this wall cuts off the Zen. It doesn't really isolate a target, but it significantly reduced their healing, which is good. So this should be pushable. Okay. Right there. I hope Zarya goes for Zen. Okay. So we've kind of done what needed to happen where we split the team, right? This dive is always gonna be split, so that doesn't matter. These two are split here, and these two are split here. But again, coming back to the composition problem of running someone like Mercy instead of a Lucio is we are not able to respond fast enough, right? Because like, let's look at this, right? As soon as that wall comes out, we are not able to chase on top of any of these individual players, right? And that leads to Ryan charging in to try and do something, right? Yeah, we're not able to close the distance on any of these characters.
The objective is now.
So instead, they've kind of just set up their angles where they've. I'll zoom out for this, right? I wonder if I should do. I was going to do my pen tool, but I don't think I will be able to. But you can see over here on the left, right? The soldiers is trying to escape the situation where the two dive characters are chasing him down. So this dive is very coordinated. They're hunting down the most isolated player from the group, right? Which is the soldier. And as soon as that soldier's down, they've now set up an arc around our team here, right? So they can start putting a lot more pressure onto us, and we're able to do to them. Right? Like this Ana gets hit from behind while we're trying to hold up here. Right, and again, Ryan's taking the fights for a little bit too long, and so the team's dropping, but Ryan's still up here, and gets pressured out. So this fight's lost. This fight should be lost at least. Okay. So here it's the same thing where Ball and Tracer are trying to get behind us and get the angle. So Soldier camping that out is interesting. Right, you know what they're going to do, which is good. It's good that you clearly know that. So Ball messes up here. Ball goes in, tries to take a fight. Tracer gets out, and Tracer's coming out and trying to go back here and help the team while Ball is going in, right? And so now there's a desync between the enemy team. So this is a good opportunity to get that ball, right? Because Tracer's not ready to help him. Okay, he just barely gets out. You get the Tracer instead. So Tracer doesn't get any help from Mercy because Ball's demanding it, and the rest of the team's able to push in, and that dive has massively failed because the ball went in too early. And then on this front, what happens here? Melvin, thanks for the time. Right. Okay, so Ryan's able to get in because there's not only so much pressure that they can put up here, right? There's only so much that they can do to the doorway when the team is demanding resources. Right. So grouping up, they have to fall back. They have to fall back when our group's coming through and they don't have half their team. Right. So McCree starts backing out because he wants to hold this. Zarya is back here trying to hold another angle, and Zen is a little bit far forward. But again, we're not able to speed onto any one target, and they drop. So they have to get up this high ground. Yeah, so we can't chase down that McCree because we don't have Lucio, right? We're not fast enough to do anything about that. But we have gotten a crucial pick, right? We've gotten the flanker. So this is the time where we need to start dropping and taking this fight. Because they have to fight us pretty directly and then have Ball mess around. So Soldier's high ground position is good there. We have Ryan chasing from above. Right. I think as soon as Soldier has this high ground and he's with Mercy, right? This should be enough to control here, right? And still have pressure onto the people who are going to try and get angles, right? We have angle control as well. We can start taking point. If we want, we can put Ryan up here. But I think we have enough power to hold the point, right?
Take your medicine.
Right. Why does Ana not have nade here? Okay. So this nade gets thrown. Right, this nade's not going to do anything, right? Because your team isn't planning on dropping. The Zarya is trying to back out, right? This nade does some damage, but it doesn't. It's not something that you can follow through on, right? Especially with the bubble, right? All you've done is force a personal bubble, and the fight is going to take about as long as it will for that Zarya to get that back. So now you've eaten a fire strike, and now you don't have that to help you, right? And also your Mercy is trying to pocket your Soldier, right? You can't abandon the Soldier up here right now, which leaves you kind of on your own. Now you've taken this damage, and the ball's still able to get an angle on you, right? Because you're not in a safe position. You're pushing with the rest of the team, right? Which also, see the Mei, right? Mei should hear the ball and instead is trying to do damage when the ball's over here, right? You can. Man. I'll watch this. I want to see where your wall is. Right. My initial thought was we would drop, so yeah, there's a lack of communication. Yeah, I mean, I obviously won't understand your comms as long as they're in Icelandic, which, you know, that's fine, right? But I can tell right here that you weren't communicating because some people want to drop, some people want to hold high ground. Your tanks want to chase, right? Right here, Shark should be trying to hit a wall, right? Shark should be trying to isolate that Zarya as soon as possible. And as soon as possible would have been here, right? Like trying to go for this. And again, you know, you don't have really a way of following through, but May's job is going to be isolating the target and freezing down the ball. So it's a little difficult for this composition to work. Right. I just want to go back to red. So that purple doesn't do anything. Alright. Like, there you go. Right, wall on the McCree. That's a target you can definitely go in. Forces him out, you split the team, he doesn't have support. The res, right? We win the fight. So we actually did pretty okay that fight. But we're still struggling because we're down a healer. Right, the communication was a little rough. But we outplayed them there. We did the right things just a little too late. Alright. So this is interesting, right? So Ryan's here holding kind of alone. And Zarya is trying to watch this flank, right, from the ball tracer. And so while angle control is good, I would prefer someone like May if May hadn't gotten killed holding this. You know, soldiers up here, but Ryan is very likely going to get overrun if he's not careful here.
Barrier activate.
You're covered.
Okay, Ryan backs out. They're not ready to push. Shields out. Nice. Okay. So Ryan hits a massive shatter. Why? Right, what happens here? Okay, good bubble.
It's hot.
Okay, so that Noon kind of is trying to make way for them to come in. Everybody's already hiding. That's good. They're going to try and push off of this, right? So dodging out of the way is good.
Draw.
Or it's good that we're already prepared for that. This Tracer can't push in because there's a Mei here and there's a Zarya here, and also the ball is not in a position where he's ready to push, right? But also this means that because they're not together, they're not going to push the Soldier, so Soldier is free to shoot. So Soldier can play a little bit more aggressively here, but as long as Soldier has sightline, that's what's important. So there's some peppered damage in, right? Doesn't even really need the Mercy to play with him right now. Also, Mercy should be damage boosting him, right? Let me look at this. Damage boost, damage boost, damage boost.
It's
Do you need a doctor?
Yeah, your soldier can grab that health
Damage
back.
increase.
Stay on the damage. Okay. So you use Noon. They use their bubble. Actually, let me watch the bubble. All right. So, bubble to get charged. Alright, use Fire Strike. Doesn't have anything to help, and is leaving the team here, right? Because Zarya is the front line. So, waiting out that bubble is good. Good read of the situation there by the Rhine. Yeah. Tracer pulses him. That's all she can really do. That's damage is already done. Soldier's trying to hold the flank. Soldier's actually probably gonna get killed here if he's not careful. Yeah. The soldier runs out. They're not able to dive that.
I've got you in my sights.
I don't think we need Nano Visor here. Right. Why do you do this?
Feeling ground. I've
Because
got you in my sights.
the fight is already won. All that's left is cleanup, right? And it's not like either of these two can ult because Tracer's just used for pulse and Rat's already used mines. So this is like a cleanup ult. So unless you're planning on switching, like sure. But I don't know why we nano this, right? Because that's just overkill, right? We need nano. for a fight that's going to happen here, right? If they keep trying to push through main, right? If they keep trying to brute force their way through, we're going to need Nano for a fight like that, not for cleanup, right? Because Nano is a kind of primary ult, right? It's a fight winning ult if you use it correctly, much like Grav is a fight winning ult, right? Much like Shatter can be a fight winning ult, and it's not one of those things that you can just throw into the mix like High Noon or Valkyrie, right? So using Visor here with Nano, that's two very heavy damage ults against a comp like this that doesn't have a lot of shields or protection, and it's kind of squishy overall. And we've committed both of these to a non-fight, right? The point is being challenged, but we can easily chase that out. Right? So all this really does is commits 2 ults to a slightly longer stagger, which is not the greatest trade-off for us.
Spry.
It's not a good trade-off. It works, but now we're kind of back into the same positions, right? Okay, what is Anna looking at? Right, so the tanks are in now. Let's watch Anna. So Anna's trying to help the soldier. Right. So Anna needs to help herself. So Mercy needs to heal our Anna. Anna, you should be trying to hit your tanks from here when the Mercy's coming to you, right? You know you're in a safe position from that McCree.
Go. I'll keep you healed.
Right. No, all right. So now your Ryan's starting to get overrun. So your focus as Anna needs to be on these tanks. Right here. Right. Your Mercy should be dealing with the DPS. That's a really shallow nade. I think you saw critical and didn't look for where they were. Right.
I will keep you healed.
But nade gets nothing.
Fire at will.
So if you had nade here, there's a good chance that Ryan just wins this fight, right? Because who's in it? It's Mercy, Zarya. I suppose that's it, right? But if you throw nade into that, right, they no longer get healing, so that wins that fight pretty much outright. But you used it at a very weird time because you weren't confident in your own healing, and now you don't have it for the Grav. So Grav gets no value, or Grav gets value in forcing out trance, right? But Visor isn't on the table anymore, and there's only so much that you can do with trance and Blizzard. So like, I don't think they're too worried about this next fight, right? All they have to worry about is Blizzard.
Fire at will.
Right? Because Tactical Visor is no longer an option, so he doesn't have to save trance for that. Grav is now being tranced, right? That's the other major problem. And you don't have the nade in time, right?
This will help.
And then the nade hits your team.
Heroes never die.
They're not able to get a lot done. It's an awkward grab.
Get clear. Watching your back.
Okay, so you're just kind of holding this door. So those grabs get traded out. Meanwhile, the rest of the fight. Let's watch this. Okay, so Creed gets jumped. Yeah, Creed takes too much pressure. Soldier should be able to kill him. Okay, what is happening here? Oh, they're splitting. Right, they're trying to come back here. Right, so McCree tries to challenge his flank. He's losing this because it's May Soldier. He's got to get out, right? Tracer's on the flank now from behind. But she's not really able to get on top of anyone besides Mercy here. Good bubble. Right. And now their engagement's all messed up because Ball's trying to go in. He's got bubble, but the Tracer isn't ready to follow through. Zarya's there. Alright, Zen just loses that fight. Ready for that. And they don't even touch the fight. So their communication was really, really sloppy there. And their engagements got thrown out of whack. Is my major takeaway. I can love it.